Well, hey there, idiots. Welcome back to Observe. Now, in light of everything that happened in 2020, everything seemed to be wrapped up rather nicely with a rumor here in 2021 that Kanye West and Jeffree Star have started a relationship, or at least are sleeping with each other. Jeffree Star decided that he needed to address that, and I'm going to take my area of expertise and apply it towards Jeffree to see if he's being authentic or if there might be something that he's actually hiding. Now, this isn't the only video that I have done on Jeffree Star. So much of the research that I did for that video, I'm pulling over into this video that includes Jeffree's baseline. For those of you who don't know what a baseline is, in nonverbal communication terms, it is the physical representation of a person when they are at rest. Not necessarily resting, but they are not under any strain or stress. So that is necessary in being able to establish whether a person has something called positive or negative spikes in their body language or nonverbal communication. And what positive and negative spikes represent is possible psychological stressors to the person's mindset. That's all it can represent. From all of these different tells that you can piece together, you are then able to possibly decipher deception up to 70 or 80% accuracy at best. With all of this in mind, I'm going to go ahead and just dive right into the footage that we have available here and see what we can learn from Jeffree Star's body language.
Chris, do you even know what's going on this morning?
No, I just got told to come over.
I woke up and my phone was blowing up and I'm like, oh my god, what in the scandal is going on today? I honestly had no idea, right? I'm keeping it to myself. I'm living in this beautiful state. I'm loving life and I'm just ready for 2021 and all the new shit that I'm about to drop. Hi! And I get a million texts today, phone calls, news outlets. Can I read you this?
I'm going to go ahead and stop just a second here to talk about some of the baseline for those of you who might not be familiar with Jeffree Star. He has a very certain persona that he presents to the camera. Now, in a previous apology style video that he did that I analyzed, he was apologizing for something that was pretty significant. So his persona didn't fit the weightiness of the apology. In this sort of situation, it's more of a flippant rumor that he's addressing, so his persona matches more fluidly. That means that it will come across more acceptable to the average viewer. So he's a very flamboyant person. He gestures very broadly with his hands, and his face emotes to a fair extent when he doesn't have a full face of makeup on. However, you can see that his eyebrows are shaved, and he does that so that he can stylize them to his preferences, but it does make it difficult to be able to use the brow as an area of action during a nonverbal read, while regularly brows are quite revealing for a person's emotive state just based off of their facial expression. But let's keep watching the video.
This is what's happening today. Why is Jeffree Lynn number 3 trending? I woke up out of bed, Chris, and I'm like, huh? And the headline reads, Kanye West might be sleeping with Jeffree Star.
So you can see that his body language during this is very over the top. Jeffree is an entertainer, if nothing else, and he knows it, and he carries forth that persona quite well. During this time, I'm not seeing anything that would show up as possible deception, and what I'm looking for in this would be nonverbal misalignment. That's where his body language or his nonverbal communication is displaying one thing while his words are saying another thing. Everything is quite synchronized, and this is both not only because it's a persona that he practices, but I also believe because at this point he is still being quite authentic, and there's nothing to really lie about here. We'll get to that here in just a moment.
I can't. And then I'm like, how do we even get to this moment? Like, how would that even be made up? Because we both live in the same state, right? Whatever. So I guess some girl made up a whole lie on TikTok, and it went viral, where she insinuates Kanye and Kim are getting divorced because a big male beauty influencer is sleeping with him.
Oh, she wanted views.
So his hands are very active. As you can see, he definitely uses illustrators and general movements with his hands as he talks. That is part of Jeffree Star's baseline. So if we were to see that perhaps stop suddenly, or him put his hands in his lap, or in any way hide his hands, that would present itself as a negative spike in his nonverbal baseline, which is an indicator of psychological processing. It could be an indicator of deceit, but it is an indicator of psychological processing on some level. However, that hasn't happened here in any noticeable way, which just indicates that he is still being genuine, or as genuine as his persona allows him to be.
So I just woke up just trying to live my life, and I'm like, this is so weird. I had people like texting me, all these news people, like, what do you have to say about this? And I'm like, about what? What? I'm single, I'm not sleeping with anyone. Like, this is so weird. So, it's January 6th, and allegedly, I'm sleeping with Kanye. Let me just say this one time for any news outlet, I like very tall men. Me and Kanye have never hung out, and this whole thing is really funny, so.
Okay, here's what his body language is saying in this situation. So first, he is nodding in affirmation with the words that he's saying. It's an accenting nod. That means that when he's saying a certain thing, it's acting almost as if it's an accent in the sentence itself to be able to exemplify certain words that he's saying. That is a good indicator of authenticity. When a person is being deceitful, they can display what is called nonverbal misalignment. So during this time while he's speaking, his affirming nods are going along seamlessly with his body language. This is an indicator of authenticity. I don't believe that he's lying at this point. There were no blocking gestures that stuck out. He did, however, have an eye block right there in the middle of things, but it didn't misalign and it didn't stick out as a red flag from his normal baseline. He hasn't changed his blinking rate or anything along those lines. For those of you who don't know what an eye blocking gesture can indicate, it is usually signified by a prolonged closing of the eyelid, and it can be an indicator of a person's desire to separate themselves either mentally or physically from a negative stimulant. That can be a situation, that can be actual physical harm, it can be any number of things that they perceive as a threat. So when he does his blink here, it's just a blink. There's nothing behind it, so I wouldn't worry about it. And afterwards, when he says that it's funny, ooh, interesting thing, he shakes his head. And there's two primary reasons for that. One, it could be that he doesn't think that it's overwhelmingly funny, or he thinks that it's unbelievable how ridiculous this is. That's the one that I believe is the case. He thinks that this is an unbelievably ridiculous rumor of him.
I guess if this is a start to my new year, Happy New Year. Okay, so anyway, it's time to go back to reality and back to this video, but you guys, I really can't. And if Kris Jenner orchestrated this whole thing, Happy New Year, sweetie girl. But no, Jeffree Star is single, and I've never slept with Kanye, and now I see, okay, I get why people are really laughing about it.
So in this point here, he says that he's single. He does another affirming nod. This is good. This is all congruent. This is a sign of authenticity. He does look away, but he looks at his screen when he says that he has never slept with Kanye. I don't take this as a sign of deception. This still just seems to be a trivial look away at his screen, which he is referencing for many, many tweets, which he's about to reference here in the video. So needless to say, so far, everything that we've analyzed and seen in Jeffree Star's body language is all lining up for him to be authentic.
This, Kris, because in an old song of mine from 2009.
Interesting thing here, when he's putting his hand up like this is a very intentional gesture. Sometimes, if it's a subconscious gesture, it can quite literally be a sign of defense. You are pushing an idea, a person, a concept, a negative stimulant away. You're pushing it away. It's a defensive gesture. And when he says that, to be fair, he does the gesture to go along with it. This is just showing once again that his body language is synchronized with what his words are saying and what he's feeling at this time. This is a sign of authenticity.
Called Bitch Please. I say a line about Kanye, but it was very like Eminem. I mentioned like 50 celebrities and I say a bunch of crazy shit. So people are going on to that. And then one time I went to a Kanye concert with some other rappers and people are mentioning that as well. Y'all have too much time on your hands, bitch, okay? So anyway, today this wig is going on, this hair and this face will no longer look like this face.
Okay, I'm just going to stop it here because he goes off into the rest of his video and does his own thing after that, and there's nothing really too important to be able to look at. So my final synopsis of the Jeffree Star and Kanye West rumor is that it is in fact fake. There's no grounds for it. Apparently a girl started it on TikTok and spread a rumor that way. And Jeffree Star's body language affirms his authenticity, which is very, very good because last time that I analyzed him, it did not show authenticity whatsoever. In this case, It certainly did. So it's nice to be able to see Jeffree showing some authentic body language and showing us what it can look like for a person who can have a persona on camera, still show authentic, synchronized nonverbal communication. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this one, including true crime content as well, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the bell notification. Honest to goodness, I don't know why people hit the bell notification. They say that it helps, but I have literally seen no evidence of it actually helping. But go ahead and hit it anyways, or don't hit it. Totally up to you. But if you do subscribe and hit that bell notification, you will be seeing 2 videos every single week, be it on true crime or on some YouTube drama or some internet drama on some level. We're always having a good time over here and always trying to learn as much as we possibly can. But without further ado, that's all that I've got for the day. My name is Logan and you have been oh so awesome as you always are. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.